What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Hope you guys are having a great Taco Tuesday. Hopefully, the pain of the Dallas Cowboys losing is beginning to wane a little bit. As the dust starts to settle, maybe we can see a little bit clearer. Um, I have a couple of thoughts here. Okay. Um, First of all, Dan Quinn. Coaching matters. Coaching matters. I want you to think about something for a second here because it was just 2 short seasons ago we had the worst defense in the history of the Cowboys. It was so bad. I was literally disgusted having grown up seeing defenses like the Doomsday defense. You have to understand, that's what my first Dallas Cowboys memories were how great the Dallas Cowboys defenses were. And then you see what the Cowboys were putting on the field in 2020, where DeMarcus Lawrence literally said, as a player, we're soft. You had Jalen Smith talking about it's too complex. It's too complex. And for the most part, with the exception of Micah Parsons, we still had the same guys. And Dan Quinn took those guys that couldn't, catch a cold and made them one of the better defenses in football. Coaching matters. So as I look at this, and we know that Dan Quinn has had his second interview with the Arizona Cardinals. And mind you, I want you to think about this Dallas Cowboys defense. Most of the guys are guys they either drafted or inexpensive free agents. Anthony Barr and Carlos Watkins, and some of the other guys that are out on that defense. They find guys like Jaron Curse and Malik Hooker because Dan Quinn knows what he needs to be successful. He is, like Jimmy Johnson, a great evaluator and talent, and he works well enough with the Joneses where it's not a question of them getting in the way. Too many times in the past, we've had the Dallas Cowboys ownership get in the way of the team. They don't seem to do that with Dan Quinn. There's a trust factor. So, with there being no salary cap on coaching, with Roger Goodell, talking about how much money has been wasted in the NFL on coaches that have been fired, wouldn't it behoove Jerry Jones to make an offer to Dan Quinn that he couldn't refuse? Say, Dan, you know what? I know you can get paid $6 million a year to be the coach of the Arizona Cardinals, but you know what, there, buddy? I'll match that offer that you got right there. I want you here in Big D to take care of managing and growing what could be the next Lawrence Taylor, son. What do you say about that? We'll make you the the assistant head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. And if something happens, how'd you like to be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys? But make him an offer that he can't refuse to keep this together, at least for one more year. Let him know that, hey, you go through, you do what you just did again, and you wait for that primo job offer. Arizona Cardinals isn't the primo job that you want. Maybe it ends up being you get this one. But you hate to lose a guy like that. And on the flip side, I want you to take note of this. If Dan Quinn took a terrible defense, a bunch of no names, and made them one of the best defenses in football, what would happen if you could find a Dan Quinn for the offense? Somebody who can work with Dak right now and elevate him. See, I think Dak Prescott made a lot of his strides when he had John Kitna as his as his quarterback coach. I think it was a mistake to get rid of him. It's probably too late to get him back in here, but you need to get somebody who will work with Dak Prescott's mechanics and an offensive mind that can work the system. Too many times it just feels like we are just saying, you beat that guy. And sometimes we can. Other times, the other team beats you. And this is where you need coaches to understand about going where the other team isn't. Too many times we hear that what the Cowboys do is simplistic. Yeah, splinter my finger. And this is where the Cowboys need to understand you have some good personnel. You need to supplement that personnel as well as coach that personnel better. We have a few coaches like Joe Phoeben that's contracts are up. We've got coordinators like Kellen Moore who, is out there testing the waters with So this may be the opportunity to kind of reset some of the coaching, to instill a different philosophy and try to get your quarterback taken care of. Fans, they just think, plug a new guy in. That sounds great, but in reality, you really just can't plug somebody in. It doesn't work that way. The quarterback that you are dreaming of doesn't exist, or if he does, the other team's not giving him up. There's not that many quarterbacks you look at and say, if we exchange Dak for that guy, we've got definitely a better situation. Those are few and far between. So the best thing you can do is get the best coach you can to work with Dak and get more talent around him to spread the field. It's not rocket science. I actually meant to, but I've been busy trying to get the stuff together. We just went out and got something to eat and all that, and get my computer out because I wanted to play this clip from a video I did back in August where I said the Cowboys were setting Dak Prescott up for failure. And it seems like that's exactly what happened in that game. Of course, the haters out there will sit there and say, you're just making excuses. I'm not trying to make excuses. I'm trying to fix the problem. All right, good people. Hope you're having a great evening, and I'll catch you later. Peace.